Yes, you can quote that to the governor. You know, frankly, I really resent the implication. It goes without saying that this investigation into Felicia and Frisco Jones's disappearance is going to go on without any delay. Of course, I know that the governor is aware of my friendship with Mr. and Mrs. Jones, but that is not... It's not going to interfere with the investigation. No. No, I will not do that until all the facts are out. No, that is all I have to say. Listen, if the governor wants to discuss this matter any more, then you tell him to call me himself.
More reporters.
No. That was the governor's aide. Do you know what? He was calling me to ask whether Frisco Jones's ties with the police department and my friendship with him was going to interfere with the investigation.
Well, the governor obviously doesn't know our police chief very well, does he?
No, he doesn't.
And by the way, I want you to note the guys in the force are behind you on this 100%, Anna.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm going to need all the support I can get the next few days. Looks to me like the heat's going to come down on all sides.
Yeah, I just figured this was going to happen. You know, the press never lets up on a cop gone bad.
We don't know all the facts yet. I mean, Frisco might not have done anything wrong.
No, I know, but it looks like he's aiding and abetting a felon right now. That's the way it looks to the press, anyway.
It's not good enough. We cannot let them be tried in the press. You know, I mean, Frisco's done some pretty stupid things in the past few weeks, but he would never do anything illegal unless he had a really good reason.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I will deny this if you ever quote me, but, you know, I've grown fond of that kid. He reminds me of myself when I started on the force.
You know, we're going to have to check into some things ourselves. I think that's the best way. I'm going to go down to Duke Lavery's office and have a look at the records. And I would like you to go down to the bank and check the information that Mr. Lamb gave us. Make sure that it's all correct.
I'll get right on it.
Listen, I would like some records. I want everything we can get in writing. Everything.
I'll get it in triplicate.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, you got a group of lawyers out there waiting to talk with you. They represent the Lawyers Association?
Great. More pressure.
Duke, I've been looking all over for you.
I'm just going over last night's receipts. Sit down, Angel. I want to talk about the plans for tonight's cash shipment.
Listen, the way things are going, we may not even have a cash shipment.
What are you talking about?
We got big trouble. Someone took the printout of the tumble dry file.
How could they do that?
I don't know, but whoever made a copy was in a hurry. They left the rest of the printout in the computer.
How could that have happened? No one has the access code.
I couldn't believe it either. But someone's gotten a hold of the code.
Well, maybe it was one of our group. It might even have been Damon.
Tuffy checked it out. It wasn't Damon. Nor anyone else in our group.
Oh, God. It had to be Felicia. She must have stumbled across the access one.
That's what I figured.
Why couldn't she have stayed out of this?
Wait till Damon finds out about this.
Why are you calling me here?
I had to talk to you, Mr. Grenville. I didn't know where else to reach you.
Well, you can always call Dukes and leave a message. I'll get back to you.
Well, this couldn't wait. We shouldn't even be talking about this over the phone. Can I come over to the hotel?
Absolutely not.
Well, can you come over to Duke's office?
Not right now. I'm expecting a call from Mr. B. Why don't you wait for me at the bar at Duke's place, and I'll be over as soon as I'm through with my call.
I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Grenville.
I don't think I'm going to like to hear what you have to say, am I, Tuppy?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Grenville. It has to do with the latest threat to our organization.
I thought Tuffy would still be here. Oh, he probably didn't want to waste a minute till he got to Damon.
Well, no one said he was reasonable.
At least he was right about one thing. Whoever stole the computer file did it in quite a hurry.
How much did they get?
It's hard to say from this. I don't know. I guess perhaps they got the entire tumble dry file.
Well, it's all in code. It won't mean a thing to the person who took it.
Oh, Angel, codes are meant to be broken. No, I think whoever had the intelligence to steal this also has the sense to know how to crack the code.
It's Tuffy's fault.
How'd you figure that out?
He never should have left the room with that tumble dry info on the screen.
He didn't have to leave it on the screen for the information to be stolen. The information was taken for a reason. No. My guess is whoever stole it knew exactly what they were getting.
We'll never know the truth, Duke. If he left information on the screen, he sure as hell is not going to tell us about it.
Oh, man. I wish there was some way to stop him from telling Damon.
He's going to find out sooner or later.
Yeah. I would certainly like to have all the information before he jumps to conclusions. You know how Damon can be.
Yeah, shoot now. Ask questions later.
Well, I don't operate that way. I trust all my employees, and I certainly do not appreciate his tactics.
What if it wasn't one of our group? Suppose it was Felicia Jones.
Now, Felicia has been a loyal employee. I've no reason to suspect she'd do anything like this.
Duke, maybe she picked up some of her nosy husband's habits.
No, well, that's possible, but I don't think Felicia and Frisco would put themselves in this kind of danger.
Or maybe they don't know what they got a hold of.
Yeah, I hope not.
Maybe they stumbled on something that could blow Mr. B's entire organization.
Well, if they have, that same explosion will take them right along with it.
Mr. Vane, be reasonable. This whole matter is bound to blow up in your face.
Oh, please don't worry about me, Mr. Dunn. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
We're not only thinking of you, Anna. This issue is a little bigger than that.
Gentlemen, I'm sure Chief Devane understands that the police department will fall under heavy criticism if Felicia Frisco's disappearance is not dealt with correctly.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm not about to go off on some vigilante search for them.
I absolutely agree with you, Anna. But it is obvious that Felicia and Frisco are in some sort of trouble, and I think we should find them as soon as possible to make sure they're not in any danger.
Let me get on with my job, then.
You can't play favorites, Mr. Vane.
I'm not. I'm conducting this case the way I would any other.
Look, I'm sure Mr. Dunn understands that you want to see them apprehended as soon as possible. Right?
Look, we're not even sure there's any real evidence against Felicia and Frisco.
You see, Jake, this is exactly the sort of conclusion jumping that I have been trying to avoid.
Well, I think you'd be singing a different tune if the suspects weren't your personal friends.
That is irrelevant. I'm a professional. Now, I have had to arrest my friends in the past, and I would do it again if needs be.
Yes, but you do have a personal stake in this, Mr. Vane. So I don't think that we can leave that sort of decision to your good judgment.
I don't think you have any choice in the matter, Mr. Dunn.
I beg your pardon.
If you have any complaints about my job performance, then I suggest you take it up with the mayor. Otherwise, I hope that you all respect the fact that I have work to do and I can't waste my time listening to you anymore.
Anna, I'm sorry about this. My only purpose in being in this committee was to make sure that Felicia and Frisco are safe and protected.
Have I ever given you any reason to think that I don't have their best interest at heart? Excuse me.
Chief Devane, can you please comment on the reports that one of your new officers has skipped town with his wife and thousands of dollars of embezzled funds?
I have no comment at this time.
Can you tell us what's being done to apprehend these criminals?
Please. There is nobody linked with this crime at this moment.
Chief Devane, could your personal relationship with the accused have anything to do with your attitude?
Ginny, my relationships have no bearing on any case I handle.
Cut. And, Chief Devane, I'm sorry, sometimes reporters don't know when to quit.
I think you people should know that a coalition from the Lawyers Association has just met with Chief Devane. We discussed many of the same concerns that you're voicing here now.
Hopefully we were able to convince Chief Devane of the necessity
We're going to have to do something. They are railroading Frisco and Felicia.
Well, I'm going to stay here and see if I can tone down this witch hunt.
All right, I'll see you later.
I know you all know the expression. One bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch.
Hannah.
Hello. Rick, Monica, hi.
Hello, Al. Stop by.
Yes, I wanted to welcome Buzz back.
Well, it's very nice that you can take time out from persecuting innocent people.
I believe Frisco and Felicia are innocent, and we just need evidence to clear them.
Buzz will be very happy to see you. You and Robin have been like second family to him.
Yes.
Hello, Ronnie. Hi, hello. Hannah, have you heard anything from Frisco and Felicia?
No, nothing yet, I'm afraid.
Oh, is there anything I can do? I've been very worried about them.
Well, I don't think there's anything really anybody can do. We just need to wait until something happens so we can clear them of all these horrible charges.
Hey!
I know I'm home. People are very special. I don't know that I deserve all the support you've given me over the past few months, but I intend to make it up to you, I promise.
Welcome back home, guys.
Buzz, I know I speak for everyone when I say that I've never been more proud of anyone than I am of you at this very moment. Welcome back, Doctor.
Thank you.
Welcome, Beth. They said, where is Sandy?
My beautiful daughter is home fixing up the apartment. She promised to stop by a little later and take me home.
Oh, good.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Huh?
Oh, I'm so so happy that this all turned out well for you. I knew it would. I knew it would.
You had faith in me when nobody else did. I'll always love you.
Well, you know, I just had some selfish motives.
You? Selfish? I can't
Yes.
believe that.
Well, I missed my old neighbor. I wanted him back.
Well, he's back now, and you can come over and borrow a cup of oregano anytime you want to.
Well, thank you. Speaking of which, I know that Philomena and Robin want to invite you and Sandy over for dinner whenever you feel up to it.
I've been feeling up to that for weeks now.
Oh, I told them to get the lasagna on then.
Super. What's this say I'm hearing about Frisco and Felicia?
I wish I knew, Buzz. I really do.
Well, Anna, it's got to be a bunch of nonsense. Those two would never steal anything, much less go on the run with a motorcycle and a fur coat?
Yes. Well, I'm hoping that Frisco has a good explanation for this whole mess. I'm going to skip off. I just wanted to welcome you back, and I'm going to go down to Felicia's office and check a few things out.
I understand. We'll talk later.
It's good to hear you say that again.
It's awfully good to be able to say it again.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
At least we won't spend too much here. Let's keep track of every cent of that, honey. It's evidence.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to split it in half. I'm going to put half of it in my right pocket. I'm going to put the other half in a place where no one can get to very easily.
Depends on who's searching.
Felicia?
Who are you?
Martha. Who are you?
What's it matter?
It does. Have a message from Tessie, if you're the right party.
I'm Frisco Jones. This is my wife.
What did Tessie tell you?
She's scared. It's too dangerous for her to come here.
Tessie's not coming.
Hey, don't get excited, kid. I don't look any better than you do.
Now, you don't understand. We have to talk to Tessie. She has something very important that she has to tell us.
I know that, but she doesn't feel safe coming here. And I don't blame her. I don't feel so good about it myself.
Well, did she tell you anything else?
Only that she was being followed. She wants to help you, but she doesn't want to get herself killed in the process.
Did she say who was following her?
No. But I've known Tessie a long time. She's not one to scare easy. Whoever's following her means business, or she'd be here.
Well, how are we supposed to get in touch with her?
Does she have a phone that we could reach her at or something?
No, but she still wants to meet with you.
Where?
Tessie will be in Cincinnati on Friday.
Cincinnati?
Friday? What are we supposed to do until then?
You lay low. You meet her at Al's Video Parlor on 2nd Street.
Hey, wait a minute, lady. This sounds like a real runaround to me.
Tessie's just being careful, and you better do the same thing if you know what's good for you.
Frisco, maybe she's right. We really don't know what we're dealing with here.
You know, I don't know who the hell you are, lady. And I don't even know if I have anything to go on, whether Tessie has anything to tell me or not.
It sounds to me like Tessie's your only ticket back to Port Charles.
Where's Tessie?
I don't know where it's happening.
Well, don't tell us that, lady. We know she's afraid.
No! Stop it! Frisco, come on. Frisco, stop it. No. It's obviously Tessie is being followed. We have to get to Cincinnati. Come on.
Nice work, boys.
Tessie set the whole thing up.
You should convince those nosy kids that she really is in danger.
I'm surprised we haven't heard from Damon. I was sure he'd been on the phone by now.
Damon likes to deliver his threats in person.
Yeah. He does like to make people squirm, doesn't he?
Maybe Tuffy didn't get to him.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm sure of how he'll react when he gets the news of the computer printout.
What did he expect you to do? Post armed guards all over the office? Duke, if someone really wanted to steal something, they usually find a way of getting it.
Yeah, you're right, man. No. I was wondering if all this is worth it.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the business. The office, the clubs. I was wondering if it's worth the price I'm going to have to pay.
I wish I could help you, boss. But we're past the point of no return.
If only I'd never met Anna.
If you hadn't met her, you never would have known Felicia and Frisco.
Now, that also means I never would have fallen in love with her. And I wouldn't give up my times with her for anything.
You're really hooked, aren't you?
Yeah. In a big way. My only regret is that Felicia and her husband have to suffer.
Duke, it's a lot better than being dead. And that could have happened.
Yeah, you're right. Devon wasn't about to take any more of their interference.
Look at it this way. You saved their lives.
Yeah. They may be on the run under suspicion of a crime they didn't commit, but they are most definitely alive. If only Felicia had not taken that printout. Anna, come in.
Hi.
Any more news about the kids?
No, nothing, I'm afraid. I came by to see whether I could look at Felicia's ledger books.
What for?
I'm hoping that they can provide some information that'll help prove this whole mess is just a stupid mistake.
Well?
I'm glad you could make it over, Mr. Grenville.
So what's so important you have to drag me all the way down here, Tuppy?
Well, I was working in Duke's office on the computer, and I had to step out for just a few minutes. When I got back, I noticed that somebody had ripped out a copy of the tumble drive file.
How did you know it was missing?
Whoever it was in such a hurry, they left enough in the computer I could tell what it was.
So who took it?
Has to be the Felicia dame.
Felicia Jones. That means her husband was in on it too, huh?
That's what I thought.
Well, that does it. No more excuses from Duke. I'm gonna put a hit out on both the kids.
Sounds like a big bike, huh?
Sure does.
Hi, that's your bike?
Yeah, why?
That sounds like a nice machine. Got a lot of muscle in it, huh?
Yeah, it does. It's,
Got some headers on it?
Right. Get out of place as quick as you can, you know.
Yeah, I've been there, pal. I know just what you mean. Where you kids from?
The village.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I got a cousin down there. That is a crazy place. For me, I'll take the Upper West Side anytime, you know what I mean? You know, I hear some folks say that yuppies are going to be taking over the whole place. Wait a minute, you kids aren't yuppies, are you?
No, we're not yuppies.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, give me a special burger here with some iced tea.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah,
You're
two of
right.
those, huh?
Okay, be right up.
Thank you.
I'm so nervous carrying this money on me.
Don't worry about it, honey. You know what I always say, if you can't drip in diamonds, drip in cash. It liquidates easier.
Still think I'm very nervous about those guys who went after Martha.
At least we know Tessie is being chased and is on the run just like we are.
Who do you think is following her?
I don't know. Maybe Tuffy. Maybe somebody else from Port Charles.
I'm sure everything's in order. I've no doubt about Felicia's bookkeeping capabilities.
Yes. She's very methodical in her organization.
Well, she made all her entries in the computer, and then she'd make a copy of the deposit entries, and she would attach the computer printout there, as you see, to the appropriate page of the ledger. It's a very good system.
Nothing's foolproof.
Well, nothing would please me more than to find some explanation for the missing money, Anna.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it says here in her very own ledger books that it verifies the amount of the deposit is $50,000, not the $5,000 that she reported.
I know what this is doing to you, Anna.
I do not believe that Frisco and Felicia are thieves. I mean, it's ridiculous. Frisco might be slightly hot-headed at times, but he is not a thief. He wouldn't take anything from anyone.
And perhaps he's protecting Felicia.
She's not a thief either. I mean, I'm sure that she wishes one day that she will have a fur coat, but she has adjusted herself to the life of a cop's wife. I mean, she wouldn't take money from anybody. It's ridiculous.
Excuse me. Hello.
Captain Lewis here. Is Chief Devane there?
Yes, she is. She's right here. Just one moment, please.
Who is it?
Captain Lewis is for you.
Oh, thank you. Do you have anything?
I just got back from the bank, Chief, and I just wanted you to let you know that the record's checked out. Felicia's deposit was definitely short by $45,000.
Thought you'd have some good news.
Sorry, Chief. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Well, you've got a lot of messages here from people who have definite opinions as to how you should handle the case. They want to know what you plan to do about a cop on your force who's gone bad.
I am not about to be influenced by that kind of pressure. I am going to give Frisco and Felicia the benefit of the doubt, and I want you to tell them that. Because if they are innocent, they are going to come back to this town of their own accord. And I want them to return... Who am I kidding?
Chief?
All right, I want you to put out a statewide APB on the both of them. I think it would be in their own interests to find them as soon as we possibly can and clear up this whole ridiculous mess.
You sure about the APB, Chief?
I don't know what else choice I have at the moment. And, all right, I'm going to be back in my office later on this afternoon. So would you notify me if you hear anything?
Righto.
Oh, that's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
I know.
I'm not in the habit of hounding down my friends.
Oh, well, I know Frisco and Felicia. I know they know you still care for them. They'll understand you're only doing your job, Anna.
I don't understand my job at the moment.
And perhaps this whole thing will turn out to be some mistake.
Oh, I'm sure of it. But you know, when I find out who is responsible for this, I am going to make certain I will not rest till they pay for it.
What the hell is going on around here?
Damon, what are you talking about? Is that any tone of voice to use in front of our guest?
Miss Devane, I didn't know you were here. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
Well, it's all right. I'm sorry, too, if you had some important business matters to discuss.
No, of course not. Please go on with what you were doing. I'll come back later.
I suppose you were upset because I canceled the meeting we had scheduled this afternoon.
Well, it was, after all, a very important meeting. I just couldn't see any reason for the cancellation, that's all.
Well, perhaps you haven't heard, but two friends of mine, Frisco and Felicia, they've got themselves in some kind of a jam. Well, we're sure this whole thing is some big mistake. Anyway, Chief Devane and I, we were going to spend some time this afternoon to see perhaps if we couldn't help them out.
Yeah, I think I read something about that in the papers. Felicia seemed like such a nice girl, too.
She is. Now, would you mind perhaps waiting outside the office? And as soon as I'm finished with the chief, we can have our meeting as planned.
I could come back later.
No, that's all right. You wait. I won't be long.
I'll be outside.
Thank you.
I wish I knew you better.
Oh, there's time for that.
Well, no, I mean now. I want to know now. It's only fair. I know enough about you to fall in love with you, but I know so very little about your professional life.
Oh, my professional life is very boring compared to the life of chief police and former WSB agent.
I'm sure you've got some exciting stories to tell there.
Well, I don't know how exciting they are, but... Well, some winter's day, you and I will sit down in front of a large fire with a nice bottle of wine. And we'll talk about the past. We'll also talk about the future.
Are you hiding something from me?
Why don't you trust me, Anna?
Well, I don't know that you trust me.
Why are you saying something like that?
If you trusted me, you would tell me about everything right now. Well, it's important, you know, and not on some cold, unspecified day in the future.
All good things come to those who wait, Anna.
I think we ought to slow down on this for a while.
Why? I know you care about me as much as I care about you.
Yes. I do care about you. But I can't get any more involved until I know that we can be honest and open with each other. Now, I've made that mistake one time before, and I'm not about to make it again.
I would never do anything to hurt you, Anna. Believe me, there are no deep, dark secrets between us.
Well, why don't you just let me be the judge of that?
Oh, don't do this, Anna.
I have to. I'm sorry. If this relationship means as much to you as you say it does, then when you're ready to talk about it, come to me and say so.
I heard about the printout. Oh, yeah, I'm glad Tuffy didn't waste any time coming.
That's beside the point. Now, you had your chance to deal with those two kids, and you blew it. Now it's my turn. And this time, there aren't going to be any mistakes. Frisco and Felicia are going to be dealt with once and for all.
It's the best hamburger I've ever had in my life.
Don't let Ruby hear you say that. She'll hit you over the head with a frying pan.
If I could be in Port Charles right now, walking into Kelly's, Ruby could hit me with anything she wanted to.
I really miss Port Charles. My home.
I know what you mean, honey. You know, I've never settled in one place as long as I have Port Charles. It's nice having family friends there, too.
I just wish I could click my heels and we'd be right back there before this all happened.
You're starting to sound like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
That's what I meant.
What?
My life has been one big fairy tale since I met you. Why should we stop right now?
So let's find out where our next yellow brick road is going to take us. Like to Cincinnati, right? Excuse me.
Yeah.
You know I could get a map or something?
No, I haven't got a map, but I got an old road atlas.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you, sir.
It helps.
I mean, look, I'm really good with maps. Let's see. I'm kind of good if we sit back row.
Toast this, man? Huh? Can you toast that?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Hey!
At least I got the coat back.
I know you did. You know something? You really ought to consider a career in wrestling, honey. Will you help me out and wipe that off?
Yeah. Well, it isn't mine. I'm going to hold on to it as long as I can so I can get it back to Duke. Ugh.
Why would they want to steal the coat in the first place?
Frisco, this is a very valuable fur to die for.
What a mess. Hey, I'm glad you came back. I saw you go running out of here. I figured you're trying to get away without paying the check like that other couple did.
No, not a chance. We'd never do that.
Hell, happens all the time these days.
I'll tell you what, why don't you serve me up a pack of cold ice and some plastic and a piece of pecan pie, all right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll even spring for a scoop of ice cream, because you didn't stiff me on that check, all right?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, honey? You want anything?
No, thanks.
You know, there are times in a man's life. What's the matter?
It's gone.
What's gone?
The money.
No way.
I put it in his pocket. Remember, those people must have stole it.
Let's go. Oh.
Hey! Hey, what about your pie? Damn it. They stiffed me anyway. Yeah. Listen, I just had a young couple in my coffee shop. Yeah, they messed the place up pretty bad, and then they hightailed it out of here. No, they split on some souped-up motorcycle.
If it weren't for your employing neighborhood types, this never would have happened.
Felicia was not a neighborhood type. She was a college graduate and a damned good employee.
Well, I don't care what she was. She got a piece of our computer printout. That information could blow this organization wide open.
The information is in code.
You know, if she's such a whiz kid as you say she is, she can probably break the code, and that'll send us all to jail, won't it? You want to spend the rest of your life in jail, Duke?
You know, life wouldn't be much different than it is now.
Maybe you're right. Mr. B gets through with you, jail might seem like a church picnic.
I'm tired about worrying what Mr. B thinks.
You better start worrying. He sees Frisco and Felicia as a threat to this organization. Now, I gave you a chance to get the two kids out of town, and you blew it. If you take the fall for that nosy cop and his wife, you are more of a fool than I thought you were. My first instincts were right. Frisco and Felicia have got to be eliminated.
You'll have to find them first.
And do you know where they're hiding?
You'd be the last person I'd tell.
Withholding information like that can be very dangerous, Duke.
What are you going to do? Have one of my waiters take a port shot at me?
Oh, no. I'm sure that Mr. B would be quite inventive when it came to your execution. Now, do you want to tell me where they are hiding?
I'm not sure. I have someone keeping an eye on them.
For what purpose?
So they won't get in any more trouble.
And how long do you expect to keep up this little charade, huh?
For 3 weeks. At that time, I'll get the computer printout back, and Frisco and Felicia will no longer be a threat to the organization. Then they can return to Port Charles under my protection.
I think you've been seeing too many gangster movies, Duke.
No. I'm just learning the rules. It took me a while, but now I'm learning to play with the big boys.
You're out of your mind.
Let me know how you feel at the end of 3 weeks, Damon, will you? I think you'll find out there's more than one way to play this game.
This is no game, Lavery. This is the real thing. You better get that through your head. Frisco and Felicia are as good as dead. It's only a matter of time until I find them.